BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
Oh, wow.
Wow, count number one.
It's incredible, absolutely incredible.
That's Queen Cassiopeia. And over here is her daughter, Andromeda.
Hello, today's programme comes to you from the hills of South Wiltshire. I'm out in the darkness. The skies are clear, the grass is frozen, and it's perfect for stargazing. I'm at Cranborne Chase, in nearly 100,000 square kilometres of an international dark sky reserve. I'm here to speak to farmers, astronomers, and would-be stargazers to find out what that means. This is a really impressive setup. You've got this giant tripod and then a telescope that looks like a pair of extended binoculars.
It's astronomical binocular.
And the skies are looking magnificent tonight, actually. After a lot of cloud cover, it looks like a really starry night.
Yeah, the bits where there's no clouds are really transparent, and I think that's because what we have had earlier, the snow, has just cleaned the atmosphere, so that's lovely. I'm Steve Tonkin, and I'm the Dark Skies Advisor to the International Dark Sky Reserve on Cranborne Chase National Landscape.
What is an International Dark Sky Reserve? What does it mean?
Well, it's an area to which people can have access. That's the main thing. So there's habitation all around here. We've got sort of Salisbury, Warminster, Wimborne, Fordingbridge, all these centres of habitation around here. But it's this little centre in the middle which is protected for its dark skies. They meet a certain criteria, and they are then protected in order to maintain that, not just for the astronomy, which is what everyone thinks about, but really more important nowadays, it's the entire nocturnal habitat, which is being basically hammered by the advance of light pollution.
How hard is it to protect an area of the countryside from light pollution?
Well, you can't do much about the cities, although I have to say that street lights are getting better, and some of the Wiltshire town councils are really taking this seriously, and they're making sure their street lights shine where they're meant to, which is on the street, not into the sky. But within the Dark Sky Reserve area, we can use the planning process to try to ensure that any light that is installed externally is done so responsibly.
And what kinds of advice would you be giving, say, to a farmer like the Lockyers here?
Yeah, well, Catherine has already got, for this part of the farm, dark sky friendly accreditation. She was, in fact, our first dark sky friendly accredited hospitality business in the entire national landscape. And the thing really is, you've got to have some sort of security lighting on farms. We know that. The thing is, it doesn't have to be on all the time, and it doesn't need to shine into the sky. It needs to shine downwards. I mean, there are other things we can do if we have stuff on motion sensors. That helps. The other thing that's really important from the habitat point of view is to try to get the colour temperature down. So instead of going for these really bright, harsh lights, go for warm white, which is much less devastating, in particular to invertebrates.
Have you got any concrete examples of how changing, the lighting has improved things on a farm? You've helped a dairy farmer. Tell me a bit about how you helped the dairy farmer.
That was quite easy, actually. He phoned me up and said, he thought there was something wrong with his new lights. Because when he was getting up for 4 a.m. milking at this time of year, which, as you know, is pitch dark, he could hear wrens and robins singing in the hedgerows, and he knew that wasn't right. So we had a look at it, and yes, and what we did, we got the colour temperature down, we got the lights pointing in the right direction, and things have improved enormously there.
And you mentioned that dark skies are accredited. Who does that?
It's an organisation now called Dark Sky International. They're based in the United States, and they've been doing this since the mid-1980s. So there are 7 international dark sky reserves in the United Kingdom out of 20 worldwide. So, we're 22 worldwide. So we're pretty jealous of what we've got and want to really look after it.
And what difference does it make to this bit of Wiltshire having Cranborne Chase Dark Skies Reserve?
I think for people who live around here to be able to come somewhere where they can see the Milky Way at night, see something like the Andromeda Galaxy with their naked eye, is the one thing. But the other thing I try to get people to do is, as their eyes are dark adapting, just listen to the sounds of night and see what you can hear, because they can then become aware of the incredible amount of stuff that is active during the night. But the astronomy, I think, is the gateway drug. Once they've seen something through a telescope and they can go wow at, they start caring about night.
Oh, and by the torchlight I can see big clouds of breath because it is cold. But that's good for the stars because it's clear.
So we're just checking on the sheep. They are on their turnips, which we strip graze them at the moment because it's winter, obviously. I'm Catherine Lockyer from Marshwood Farm at Dinton, and I farm here with my family. It's my dad, Mark, who runs the farm, and we have a campsite and B&B, and we are sheep and arable farmers.
Where are the sheep? Are they?
Can you see their eyes?
Oh, you can see their eyes?
Yeah. Because we strip graze them, it means, we release a new bit every day, so they tend to hang there.
So there's 240 ewes out here. We're just taking out the rams today, actually, so we just finished our tupping. They're on this stubble turnip, so it's a catch crop for the winter feed. You can see the sheep now, can't you, just about? Can you see them?
Their eyes. Can you see the eyes?
Oh yeah, when you shine your torch over there, Catherine, I can just see. Oh, it's like a wall of studs, a bit like little cat's eyes, but it's sheep's eyes.
Exactly. They almost look like zombies. They're looking at us.
So, Mark, you're the sheep and the arable side of the business. Catherine, you have diversified. Tell me a bit about that aspect of the farm.
Yeah, so year 2000, Mum and Dad started the B&B and holiday cottage in the main farmhouse. We then got a couple of shepherd's huts. As we're a sheep farm, we thought that would fit. And then from that, we've rolled on to create a very small campsite.
And one of the attractions for the people who come to your campsite is the fact that you're in the Dark Skies Reserve.
Absolutely. I get lots of camping guests that search specifically the dark sky area and then find the campsite in it. So I've had a few people that come specifically from meteor showers and all sorts of things like that. So it's a big draw.
You're also an accredited dark skies farmer. What did you have to do for that?
Oh, it was very simple. So, puddle.
Oops. Just shut the gate behind us. Oh yeah, and thanks for pointing out the puddle. And we're just walking along the track back to where the campsite is. And I can just see the glow of the lights at the campsite utility barn, which is where tonight's stargazers are going to gather soon. But what did you have to do?
All lights have to have a canopy above them. So the light by the toilet door, so when people come camping and at night they need the loo, it's a sensor light and it has a canopy above it so that no light goes up, all light goes down, and the colour of the light bulb.
So peaceful. It does sound different at night, the countryside.
So we're very lucky here. We've actually got a barn owl, and quite often the barn owl will do a swoop down the campsite. So it's white, he looks like this ghost flying down, and people love that.
People have braved the freezing cold to come here for a stargazing event. Astronomers have set up their telescopes in the field and will guide visitors through the night skies.
So if you'd like to follow me. If you want to sort of gather around where my red light is pointing there. First of all, can I introduce my colleagues over here on the telescope nearest us is Colin. Oh. Hello. And the telescope further on is Christopher. And I'm the one with, yes, you're right, they are binoculars, but they're slightly bigger than the ones you usually see. What you're seeing really, you're just seeing points of light in the sky. That one there that I'm pointing up with my laser, that won't be there in a month's time, that will have shifted. And they were these stars that wander. And the Greek word for wanderers is planetos, so these are our planets. And that one up there, which we'll have a look at later, is Jupiter. I'm going to get my warm gloves on now, I think. So, it's Christopher and Colin. Red light.
Come and have a look.
That's incredible.
That's a big telescope.
It's quite a small
I'm not sure it fit in my car. That's a small one.
This is quite a small telescope, quite a cheap telescope. I'll just focus it roughly and then...
And what's he looking at?
Jupiter.
Oh, wow.
Wow count number 1. It's pretty bright.
Can you describe what you can see?
Looks really round, really like from school lessons of remembering planets. It feels quite special to actually see it.
And what's brought you here?
So we're actually complete novices. We don't know anything about stargazing, but you kind of realise, I think, when we're coming back late one night, we look up and we live in a town in Salisbury, and you go, actually, this is around you all the time, and you just don't appreciate it, and we don't know what we're looking at other than going, that's the star. So it was a great opportunity just to come and get our first experience and hopefully start a learning journey.
Hi, do you mind if I just eavesdrop?
What I've got here is my fairly large telescope.
Wow. Gosh. The black of the night sky is so velvety through the telescope.
Yeah.
And the stars are just so bright, they pop. What's brought you out on such a cold night?
Just to see the stars, really, I guess.
And
it's a good opportunity.
And you're from round here?
Yeah, I'm local Dinton, yes.
So do you feel lucky to have this on your doorstep?
Yeah, very lucky, yes. Yeah, we enjoy our night time, don't you, Samuel? You go out night fishing with me, don't you? So we are used to the darkness and looking at the stars, but not normally through binoculars or scopes, yeah. So that's like a bit more interesting.
Can I ask you what you can see right now?
Fuzzy stars. I can see several. That's Andromeda.
That's the Andromeda Galaxy, yes.
Right. I've always been interested in astronomy, but I've never done this. I've sometimes been out in my own garden and tried to see as much as I can, but we only have a small garden. And this was an opportunity to hopefully learn something. And I'm forgetting that it's so cold.
Because it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful and it's so fascinating. Yes.
It is quite mesmerising when you look through a telescope.
It's incredible, absolutely incredible. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. I've come with my son because he loves the planets, the stars. Oh. My son can pick out the different constellations and stuff. It's amazing. We're really, really lucky to have such good skies.
Steve, you're obviously passionate about this. What is it about the dark skies that you love and that makes you want to share it with others?
If we think about it, half the environment is above our horizons and should be protected just as much. We're looking at, millions of years of evolution. We've evolved with this rhythm of night and dark, and we mess it up at our peril, as many, many studies have shown, for not only animal and plant life, but also human health can also suffer if you get the lighting at night wrong.
I suppose for you, midwinter, when the rest of us are going, oh, the nights are so long, for you, there's a real joy in that.
Oh yes, yay, the nights are long again. I don't have to wait up until 10:30 before I set a telescope up. I can do it before supper and then go out afterwards and enjoy what the night has to show us.
You've been listening to Farming Today in Cranborne Chase, produced and presented by me, Rebecca Rooney.